Hello. How is everyone doing? I hope all are well. We have a lot of news to cover. There's crazy news. There's lots of stuff going on in the news. Have you guys been checking out the news? Oh my god. So many things happening. So many things. Okay, I got to rage out a little bit here. I'm a little bit jealous. And by a little I mean a lot. This is making me very jealous. It's making me very angry. Like this is
What?
making me very jealous. Venezuela? What the hell? We was here first. We was citizen. We was kangs, but we was citizens. We is. We still is. But they get to skip ahead of the line. This isn't fair. This is no more fair than giving illegal immigrant citizenship before you give it to people that have been waiting. This is, oh my god, I'm so jealous. I am so jealous. I think this comes from the misconception that for some reason there's some misconception out there that most Puerto Ricans are liberal, which is not true. Most Puerto Ricans are not Democrats. Most Puerto Ricans are Republicans. If you look at the split in the island, it's like 60 to 70% are conservative GOP, and the rest of it splits into socialists and Democrats. And the Democrats do not like the socialists because the Democrats get to stay citizens, and socialism means renouncing the citizenship, which the fucking Democrats do not want to give up their citizenship. Like Puerto Rican Democrats don't want to give up their citizenship, but Puerto Rican socialists do. So it's not like the DSA and the Democrats that it's kind of the same thing. Over here, it's like a very divided and marked line. I don't think you're blocked. I can see you. If I can see you, you're not blocked. I mean, you're on my channel. If I don't like what you're saying to me, I will block you. I mean, I could even like what you're saying, and if I feel like blocking you, I'll block you. But I don't remember you ever saying anything bad. You seem like a nice person. No thanks. Okay. I don't remember you ever disrespecting me or treating me badly. I don't see why you'd be blocked. Anyway, welcome to the show. You're definitely not blocked. How is everyone today? Says Nova. El Nigel. Hello. How are you? How are you? CC. Okay, so we got a situation here. So there's some people jumping ahead of the lines. Do you guys see this? Do you guys see this? I was here first. Okay, we were first in line. Oh, you see what happens is I think there's a delay between the chat and the video. Like I think this runs like on a minute delay, maybe 30 second, maybe less. I don't know exactly how long the delay is, but there's a delay. I had to I had to run from the discussion group to the airport. But I'm back. I'm back. My baby's back, and everything's good. Oh, this is kind of funny. I pooled 100 women. What was their favorite shampoo? And the number one answer was get out of my shower. Classic. I think you said that one before. Lots of jogging. No, no jogging. I hope you guys are enjoying the show. Now, I'm very concerned because there's a lot of people talking like they're going to be a state. Okay, okay. I think because no one dies here, I can show it, right? This is just a guy firing. But oh, this is nice. I think that's nice. But it looks like there's an active shooter and, good guy with a gun versus bad guy with a gun. Okay, this is kind of petty. We don't know what's in that glass or if he drank it. Like that cup is very far from him. Like this is Laura, I like some of what you're doing, but this is kind of petty. That cup is clearly not next to him. He has like a different cup. Like that could be coffee over there. I do hate Tucker, and I think it's important to Marjorie Trader Green, which is a correct name. Trader Green. It's not Taylor, it's Trader. This is the correct name. And if they're forming a party, well, they can go fuck themselves. They're trying to split the right. I don't know any.
So we're into 60 now. I just 5G. I was a leader on 5G getting that done, and now they're up to 6.
Let's do it again.
What does that do? Give you a little bit deeper view into somebody's skin? See how perfect it is? I like the cameras the old days. So they just had a nice feature. Now they cover every little. Let's see, Michael, you're in good shape. You're not gonna, but I tell you, it's so it's the 6 is coming, huh?
Okay. That's an obvious joke. And I know a bunch of retards are going to take it seriously. But that's obviously a joke because everybody said that 5G was going to fry your brain and it's going to cause so much cancer. That's an obvious joke. Okay, I'm going to put this in the obvious joke corner because I'm not even going to bookmark this. That's just an obvious joke. Let me see here. Poland passed a bill allowing border guards to fire real bullets at illegal immigrants. This is how you protect your border. Okay, okay. So this is like a message to Spain. Yeah, that's that's a message to Spain. Hey, Spain. Poland is kind of telling you how it's done. This is bullshit. Bethlehem, birthplace of Jesus, was over 80% Christian under Israeli control. 1995, Palestinian Authority took over. Gee, maybe it was the Muslims that did it. What the hell is this? I don't understand this. Oh, okay. This is about Kaisi not watching Lord of the Rings. This is Asmongold's alleged girlfriend, and she's basically going to get egged for not watching this movie. Okay, breaking news. Let's see what this is about. House of Representatives just passed a bill requiring automatic deportation of illegals who commit welfare fraud. Yeah. That. Wait a minute. That wasn't a thing already. What do you mean? This wasn't a thing already? I thought this would have been a thing already. Commit a crime, you lose it. Oh my god. Well, they're illegal. Shouldn't you be deporting them already? Deportation of illegals? How are illegals getting welfare? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. This just gives you more questions. Automatic deportation of illegals who commit welfare fraud. How did they get welfare if they're illegal? Why wouldn't you automatically deport them because they are illegal? Do you understand why I'm getting more questions than answers out of this? Like, okay, I like it. I won't deny that I like it. But I'm like, why was this a thing? How is this a thing? Sorry, nobody can convince it. This mentality is normality. Oh, what you do is you get it under. Oh, okay, you gotta hide your face because this whole thing is about people wanting to fuck you. And even if you're this small, people will want to fuck you. If they're apparently, this is normal in Islam. That's a baby. That's basically a baby. Yeah. Beach Kid is saying, how is that not a thing? Yeah, how is that not a thing, right? I'm wondering. What the hell?
Millions of votes cast for President Trump. According to an unaudited analysis of data obtained from Edison Research, states using Dominion voting systems may have switched as many as 435,000 votes from President Trump to Joe Biden. Now, the author also finds another 2.7 million Trump votes appear to have been deleted by Dominion, including almost 1 million votes in Pennsylvania. Election systems.
This seems to be an old report. I don't know if this is true, but you know what? I buy it. I'll buy that for $1. Let's check the news I got for USA. I am so jealous. I am so. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, Amy, for the jewels. Appreciate the jewels. Thank you very much. Oh, there we go. Thank you very much. Yeah, like Greenland, fucking Venezuela gets to be a state. We should be a state. Puerto Rico should be a state. People got this stupid notion that we're mostly fucking libtards. No, that's New Yorkers. That's not us. That is not us. Yes, I'm eating. I was hungry. Oh, I think this is important to watch.
I went to Beijing, kind of hung out with everybody there and checked out the communism there. And
This reads, what the fuck? The Chinese Communist Party has flown Democrat Socialist of America members to China as DSA members take pledge to the CCP. This is betrayal. They should have renounced their citizenship. They should have to renounce their citizenship and never return. These are people running to office that have pledged loyalty to another country. You got to take that into account. Like at some point, if you take an oath to office and you break that oath, you should lose your job. Like you should. You absolutely should lose your job. Let's see what the lady over here says.
I went to Beijing, kind of hung out with everybody there and checked out the communism there. And this is one of those members, and this is what they wrote. I can't wait for you to listen to this. This is D Knight, a DSA member from New York City, reported back Beijing buzzed with excitement after a separate trip in 2024. Knight wrote in a blog, the provincial foreign affairs department staff called us VIPs and treated us royally. That's what he was excited about bringing back home. This is the same government that's accused of crimes against humanity against the Uyghur population, and yet he.
Well, that's the wrong kind of. If you're a Uyghur in China, you don't matter. The only Muslims that matter are the ones in Palestine. If they kill each other all over Africa, nobody cares. If they're made into slaves and organ donors in China, nobody cares.
He's excited that he was being treated like a VIP.
Yeah, and the difference is the people who live there are not treated like VIPs.
Right.
And you use the right word in talking about this communism. Some of these DSA members are calling it Chinese socialism, which that doesn't even make sense based on the way that government operates. Of course, you're treated like a VIP. They want you to see only the best of what can happen in this society by their estimation. But the people who've lived through this, that's the important part. Just like Alexander was just talking about, people who've actually lived it and can come out and freely speak as the people of China cannot. folks in Venezuela who will say, we starved so badly over the last few years. One human rights report says people lost an average of 24 pounds because there wasn't food to eat.
They've also lost a bunch of jobs. They've also lost a bunch of homes because they bought homes and the homes were tofu direct. Like like horrible homes. Like there's a lot of problems in China. There's flooding, and then imagine you have a home that's built with basically shit, and then it floods.
And this isn't something that the DSA is hiding. They're celebrating this stuff. They're publicly signing these pledges. You know, I had Megan Romer last week on Fox News Sunday and said, do you want government ownership of private businesses? Yes. There wasn't even any hesitation. So clearly they think what China is offering is a good thing.
What's interesting, though, is I know that this is not going to impact any of these households.
I want to see what more she had to say, right? Maybe we can find out who she is. I haven't seen this, but Bill Maher has been talking about Spain. Let's see what he has to say. He's kind of funny.
Well, while we were off, only a month, but lots of change in the Republican Party. Lindsey Graham dropped dead, you know this, and Mitch McConnell also died, but he still wanders the earth. But I can't. But
I'm not gonna get offended. I'm not. That's a joke. Like, it's fine. Like, if he was one of these hateful people that's okay with Charlie Kirk's death, and you know he's like constantly going fucking off, but if you're one of these Democrats who was always a you know, kind of a lefty, but you're always kind of like moderate and you're not into killing people, you went to visit Trump, you're talking truth about this border crisis shit, you know what? I'm gonna let it pass because I don't actually think you want anybody shot or dead or anything. It's probably just a joke.
But not Lindsey Graham, you know. And look, you say what you want about him. He had a funeral the other day, National Cathedral, world leaders showed up. It's not often a senator gets that kind of a send-off. So, and just, I must say, on a personal note, looking for common ground, you know, with Lindsey. But we both made it to 70 without getting married.
No, okay, this is him making a joke about himself. You got to understand this, all right? You see that? He's making fun of himself. Well, not fun of. He's like including himself into the joke. It kind of like to take the edge off. Like, oh, I got common ground with this guy. Like, you know, that, like, I know some people are sensitive about Lindsey. I'm a little sensitive about Lindsey, but I got to be honest with myself. We're trying to be a big tent, and I don't see ill intent.
We took slightly different pathways, but I'm just saying we both made it to 70. But you know, Lindsey was kind of the Trump whisperer.
Some people used to say maybe Lindsey was gay. I don't care. We don't care. Like most Republicans don't care. Maybe old school Republicans did, but nowadays no one cares.
You know, he really was the guy that the Senate, they said they're going to miss him for that because, and boy, Trump needs it because the poll numbers are not good. 73% of Americans say Trump has not paid enough attention to the important problems. I guess somebody missed the fireworks thing on 4th of July, huh? No, I know. I know what people mean because, like, while we were off, did you see this? Trump gave a big speech about the election, the 2020 election. Really?
Okay. I'm going to be real with you guys. He claims he took a different pathway there, but that might just be him hiding in the closet, okay? Okay, I'm going to be real. Sometimes I get tired. Of hearing about the 2020 election. Like, I would like to hear him talk about the 2020 election about the California election, the primaries, where we just found fraud because it's new stuff and because we have new revelations. He's kind of like in autopilot mode, right? And what's the matter? What's wrong with that? If you have been giving the same speech since 2020 and it's 2026, people tune off. People tune out. It would be more effective for him, for Trump himself, if he didn't even mention 2020 and he just talked about the exact same thing, like the exact same words without saying the year. If you take the year out and then you talk about Spencer, oh my God, what was the name of the guy in California who lost to Nithito, whatever, that Nick Shirley and James O'Keefe found a lot of fraud in the voting over there? I forget his name. It was Spencer something. Pratt, maybe? Pratt. Yeah. Spencer Pratt. Like, if I was Trump, I'd be talking about Spencer Pratt, promising young politician, got his vote stolen. I'd be propping up the people that I think I lost to, that lost because of cheating. Like, that would be like, if I was a Trump strategist, I'd be like, look, forget about 2020. The people, you say that shit, people that have been on your side for 6 years and listening to 6 years, they're gonna say, oh, he's just gonna give the same speech. I've heard this 20 times, and they tune out. Mr. President, you're an expert in entertainment. Am I wrong? You want honest opinions, right? This is my honest opinion. You can't keep giving the same speech. Even if you put new information there, as soon as you say 2020, people are gonna tune you up. This again. Now, if you start talking about Spencer Pratt, if you start talking about other elections that might have been rigged, now there you got some traction.
Oh, for fuck's sake! You know, you fucked
That's the
a porn
reaction.
star. Melania didn't hold this much of a grudge. I kid. Always with.
Melania did not hold that much of a grudge. Okay, you know what? It's funny.
Love.
I think it was Carrie Lake. I don't know where Carrie Lake is at now. If she's still trying to do a thing, if there's another recent election, I could like throw her in there. But is that a 2020 thing? Is Carrie Lake from 2020, or did she have a recent primary in this election at the same time that that there was there's been recent elections? That's what I'd go for.
But I'm so glad we're back, and midsummer, it's hot out there, and summer's tricky now. You want to get a good tan, but not so good you get picked up by ice. And
that's just playing to both sides. I don't think that was funny, but I don't think it's malicious.
oh man.
That's just it being on standard
Speaking of
left.
that, you think we have immigration problems? Did you see what happened in Spain yesterday?
That's a good segue.
60,000 people in one day bum rushed the border and got through. This is and this poor Spain. At the same time, they're having horrible fires. Spain is the new California.
Yes.
No, it is.
I think Dominic is right on the money here. It's low IQ humor. You're just, you do this every day, you run out of jokes.
The northern part is on fire. The southern part gets overrun by migrants, and everybody speaks Spanish. It's the new California.
I think that lands.
Kid. So,
I think that lands.
a couple
That's
of pretty important milestones happened while we were off. The Iran war is now 6 months old.
Oh, are we going to have a month anniversary? Thank you very much, Kevin, for gifting a membership. Appreciate that. Let me see if I can highlight it. Thank you. Thank you kindly. Thank you very much.
Trump says, please, keep it in perspective. It hasn't taken nearly as long as Vietnam or Korea or getting home from Troy.
Bro, that movie, I heard that movie was long and boring. Long and boring.
Have you, Have you, s-
Well, okay. Like in the real story, it took real long to get home too.
have you seen The Odyssey? Amazing. I bet Hollywood has a movie this big, people going to see it at 2 in the morning. This is awesome. And if you haven't seen it, it's about a serial adulterer who gets stuck in a war that takes forever. Trump calls it the feel-good movie of the summer.
No, I don't think he said that. It's historical. No, they changed the historical parts because it didn't make women look very good. Do you remember how the Odyssey ended? Does anybody remember how the Odyssey ended? Anyone? You don't remember? What happened at the end of the Odyssey? Does anybody know? Like after he's home? Anybody? Spoilers. Spoiler alert. How old is the Odyssey? Let's ask Grog. Hey, how old is the Odyssey? Like how many years ago did the book of the Odyssey, the first edition, come out?
The Odyssey was composed by Homer around the 8th or 7th century BCE. That's roughly 2,700 to 2,800 years ago. But there's no single first edition like we think of today. It was passed down orally and through manuscripts for centuries before printed versions existed.
He died. No, he did not die. That's not how it ends. Okay, I'm talking to chat. So don't take anything I said as talking to you, Grog.
Got it, no worries.
Okay, can you give me a synopsis of how it ended? I'm talking like the very, very end. How does the story end?
Odysseus finally gets home to Ithaca. He kills the suitors who were courting his wife Penelope. He reveals himself to Penelope and they reunite. Then there's a brief battle with the suitors' families, but the goddess Athena steps in and forces peace. That's the end.
Okay, what happens to everyone who was in the palace serving the suitors, to all those women that were serving the suitors? What did Odysseus make them do?
Odysseus orders the death of the 12 maids who slept with the suitors.
What does he make them do before they kill them? Like, give me the whole story. Like, okay, I killed the suitors. Now you're gonna do this, and you're gonna do this, and you're gonna do this, and then I'm gonna kill you this way. Like, explain that bit.
After killing the suitors, Odysseus tells Telemachus to kill the 12 maids who slept with them. The maids are forced to clean up the blood and bodies from the hall, then taken outside and hanged.
That's why they changed the ending, because in the ending they made the 12 hoes killed all the people they were entertaining, that clean all the dead people that they were entertaining out, like clean the halls. You're gonna clean their guts and their shit and their intestines off the floor. You're gonna clean the tables. You're gonna clean the chairs. You're gonna clean every fucking thing, you fucking whores. And then he hanged them because you're not gonna die with honor by a sword. And that's why Hollywood changed the ending. It's a stretch to call them maidens.
the DSA and their candidates. It gives
Okay, now here Bill is talking about the DSA. Let's see what he's got to say. Okay, you were right. Yes. Okay. Yes, you were right. Some people did things. But Hollywood loves hoes and they hate personal responsibility, especially for women. So they changed the ending.
And finally, new rule, Donald Trump has told 1 trillion lies, but when he says the Democratic Socialists of America are actually communist, that's not one of them. And it's not hard to prove it, just by quoting the DSA.
Okay, here's the problem with Bill. A lot of the times when Trump is being hyperbolic or joking, It gets labeled a lie, and he buys it. He just goes with the number. He doesn't go into like, okay, what are these statements that you think are lies? Let's read through this 1,000 lies according to the New York Post or whatever. That's the problem with him. He never does his own research. It's just whatever the writers say.
And their candidates. It gives me no pleasure to have to do this. I'd much rather keep going the good vibes from my summer vacation. I had an awesome one, by the way. I totally got a girlfriend at Bible camp.
He went to Bible camp? I have my doubts.
However, right before we left, Vice President J.D. Vance was on the show, and I told him that if the Democratic Party keeps going in the direction of the DSA, my vote was in play. And all I heard all vacation was, oh my God, you're a Republican now. No, that's not what I said. I said in play. And here's why. Because not a week goes by where I don't read about some newly chosen, exciting new face in the Democratic Party. And then when that face opens its mouth, the Communist Manifesto or some other crazy shit comes out. Again, let's just read.
He's right. He's not lying.
Read the quotes. The DSA platform says you work as much as you are able and no more than needed. If that was any closer to Karl Marx's dictum from each according to his abilities to each according to his needs, they'd be sued for plagiarism. Not to leave any doubt, New York Mayor Mondani once tweeted Karl Marx's words exactly. They're not trying to hide it. Their most popular influencer, Hassan Piker, thinks communism is so groovy. He laments the fall of the two of the most murderous regimes in history, the Soviet Union and Chairman Mao's China. Mondani's aide, his top aide, Sia Weaver, said, if you don't believe in the government's sacred right to seize property, it's over, and impoverish the white middle class. What? That's a goal? You know you're supposed to scare people into voting for you, right?
Yeah, that's a wrong fear tactic. That's not the fear tactic that gets you to win.
One of the new soon-to-be Democratic Congresspeople, Darlisia Chevalier, supports seizing all properties from landlords and said, seize the means of production. Mondani has said the end goal is seizing the means of production. I think they want to seize the means of production.
I don't know. Something, do you think? I mean, something is telling me that's what they want. That seems like that's what it is. Is Jewish Samantha here? What? No way. I don't see her. Are you just like speaking it into the air so wherever she is, she hears it? Okay, like a prayer in the wind. Like wherever she is, I hope you get this message. Okay.
Now, maybe you missed that in school or missed school altogether, but that's communism. That's communism, which we tried, and it doesn't work. Parties can change sometimes, you know. You have to keep up. Who freed the slaves? Republicans, Lincoln. Democrats were the racist party back then, but then JFK got elected and it switched. The DSA itself has switched, even 5 years ago. It shunned communists.
I would say it didn't switch. There was still forceful sterilization till 1977. I would say it didn't switch. Just because one guy was pretty good, that doesn't mean they were all good. And the one guy that was good got shot, probably by the Democrats. I don't know. If you believe it was more than one person, it was the Democrats.
Changed. Things change. Now the coalition within the DSA, called the Marxist Unity Group, is in ascendance, and I must take them at their word when their words include, our commitment is to the long-term struggle for a fully liberated, classless society, in a word, communism. What do they have to do? Tweet out, elect more communists? Oh, yeah, Sia Weaver did that. Yes. Good, I'm glad you're shocked. People got to realize this is going on.
I'm telling you, these fucking people live in a bubble. They live in a bubble. They don't know what their fucking politicians are doing. Did you see that? I want you guys to check that out again.
Society, in a word, communists? Oh, yeah, Sia Weaver did that. Yes. Good, I'm glad you're shocked. People got to realize this is going on. Yes, my vote is in play. I'm not voting for anyone who thinks the wrong side won the Cold War or cheers for the Intifada like it's the World Cup. It's so ironic from the people who obsess about colonization. You know what's being colonized now? The Democratic Party.
I think that's absolutely true.
Last month, 2 Democratic congressmen released an open pledge they wanted their fellow Democratic members to sign. It said, "We are capitalist, not socialist. We want safety, not lawlessness. We are proud, not ashamed of America." These should not be hard words for a congressional Democrat to sign on to. You know how many did? 8. 8 out of 212. Guys, really, there's got to be an easier
Holy shit.
way to lose the swing states.
Holy shit.
And
okay, got a comment here from Roman Viking. If you manage resources through individuals and voluntary associations which compete with one another, you have more corrective power. This is just absolutely true. This is just absolutely true.
no, this nonsense is not where most Democratic politicians are right now, but it's also becoming a raging fire festival in the party that neither is anyone putting out. People are actually getting elected now who literally don't think we should have police or prisons or borders. And again, they're not lying about who they are. The media is. Ask Ms. Chevalier about the border. She says, yes, literally abolish the border. You know, if you call a woman a whore and everyone gasps, and then the woman says, oh, no, he's right, I'm literally a prostitute. Believe her.
I think like he's basically, yeah. Oh, okay, thank you for the super chat. We have a super chat here from Ehef. I love the irony of the DNC panicking over putting their headquarters up for collateral while supporting. Wait a minute. The DNC basically mortgaged their headquarters, but they're talking about seizing property. Wow. You know what? Thank you. That's fucking fantastic. That's wow. That's so rich. So ironic.
This crowd literally wants to get rid of our form of government, the Senate, but also, and I quote, replace the president and Supreme Court with an executive and judiciary chosen by and subordinate to Congress. Yeah, no biggie. Just taking the very essence of our government, which is 3 branches, check.
Okay. I want to show you guys something. Hey, I heard a statistic that this guy, Pedro Sanchez, right? He's in charge of Spain. But I keep hearing over and over everywhere that 84% of the people who voted didn't vote for him. Is this true?
No, it's not exactly true. In the 2023 election, Pedro Sanchez's PSOE got about 31.7% of the votes cast. Voter turnout was roughly 66.6%, so abstentions and non-voters made up about 33.4%. The 84% figure comes from comparing his votes to Spain's total population of around 49.5 million, not just registered voters. Sanchez became prime minister through a parliamentary vote, securing 179 out of 350 seats, with support from other parties, not a direct popular election.
Okay, so his party, which is the closest thing to a vote for him, only got 31.7.
Yeah, that's right. His party, the PSOA, got about 31.7% of the votes that were actually cast. So roughly 2/3 of the people who voted didn't pick his party.
So what is it? 69.3, 68.3 didn't vote for him.
Yeah, roughly 68.3%. If his party got 31.7, then the rest who voted didn't choose him.
So even okay, thank you very much. I'm going to keep talking over here to the chat. I'm going to mute you. Goodbye and thank you. Okay, so
Got it.
even among those who voted, I thought it was 84. I'm like, damn, that's a lot. I don't know if this is true. I'm glad I checked it, but as you can see, he only got 30. He got voted in with 31%. Could you imagine a president in the United States getting voted in with 31%? That's the bullshit about. Okay, so why am I going into this? Why am I going into this? In America, you can't be president like that. But if you abolish the presidency and get a parliamentary system, you can. That's why they want to get rid of the presidency. Yeah, parliament. Yes. That's why they want to get rid of presidency, because they have a better shot. They see the future. I think they're forward looking. They see, yeah, he's not even voted in. No, they got the same thing in Spain. Yeah, not even voted in at all. They just vote for a party, and the party who has the most seats just elect someone. I think that's how it works. I'm paraphrasing, guys. I'm guessing. All right, don't get mad at me, but you guys kind of get what I'm saying. So that's why they want to do it. I'm just explaining why they say they want these things.
Form of government, the Senate, but also, and I quote, replace the president and Supreme Court with an executive and judiciary chosen by and subordinate to Congress. Yeah, no biggie.
This is anti-democratic. There is more direct democracy under the constitutional republic than there is under this bullshit. And I'm not saying I like direct democracy, but you have more of a say in our system than you do in this shit.
Just taking the very essence of our government, which is three branches checking each other and shit-canning two and a half of them.
You know what,
who
Bill?
could be this nuts?
This is what's up.
I'll tell you who, Bill. Morons who are still wearing COVID masks in 2026.
Okay, to be fair, look at these people, okay? Look, if you see people that wear COVID masks, like they're either ugly or they don't want to be seen here. I go, oh my God, I hope nobody knows I'm here. He's like, yeah, I look like shit. No, this guy might also not want to be seen here. This guy probably doesn't have a great looking face. This lady doesn't have a great looking face. This guy, like a lot of these people are just ugly. Like when you see, like a lot of the times, you'll see those lefties and they're just a fat, ugly woman. And you're like, yeah, no wonder you don't want to show your face. I bet you put that thing on to look in a mirror because you don't want to see that. That's why you have a mask on.
This photo is from the DSA meeting in Denver 3 weeks ago. Okay, I'm just going to say it. Since the far left, the far left, is overwhelmingly made up of affluent, ultra-woke white people, you raised your kids wrong. You told your precious brats that every brain fart was genius, and now those brain farts are becoming Democratic Party policy. Francesca Hong, yet another major Democratic candidate who's all in on abolishing the police, and is running
with
for
Wolf on
governor of
this.
Wisconsin, says, I think that my perfect world would be a world without prisons, because we all see the humanity in one another, and then we know nobody's disposable. Well,
That's retarded.
murder victims are. I mean, if you heard this kind of nonsense coming out of the mouth of a teenage beauty queen, it would be an eye roll.
Yes. I'm going to tell you something right now. Oh, okay. Limerick James says, "Hey, I am ugly and I don't wear a face diaper." First of all, maybe you're just a little hard on yourself. Number two, maybe you're not a leftist. Like I'm not saying all leftists do this. I'm saying the ugly ones.
No wonder that the most true blue Democrat ever, James Carville, says, there's just some shit I can't be in the same tent with.
Okay, I went over a video of him saying they should kick them out of the party. They should unseat them from the party and make them run as independent, not let them caucus or platform with the Democratic Party. That's what James Carville said. That the DNC should straight up kick them out and run someone else for their primary. He's like, oh, that guy won? Okay, we're unseating them. It's undemocratic? Well, they're undemocratic, so I don't fucking care. They violated every policy of the fucking party. How am I supposed to keep you in the party? It's like a Republican saying, no, I want sex changes for 5-year-olds. Well, shit, you're going to get kicked out of your party.
Yeah, Carville said, I'm done. I'm not in that fucking political party. Now, Gavin Newsom disagrees. He says he's good with it because the party is a big tent. Well, you know what else you find in a tent? Clowns.
This is another good point. This is the DSA. What are they doing to this kid? Moto. What happened to Moto? Are these Japanese clowns?
It's so funny. So many liberals shit themselves every time Trump puts gold on something in the Oval Office. Oh, it's historic. And the separation of powers isn't? Get your head out of your ass. I would vote for Sarah Palin before this shit.
You know what? I heard that Sarah Palin got like basically, how shall I say this? She got, okay, so she said one thing that got her in a lot of trouble, but first of all, it wasn't true. And like she was at a place that's very, 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 very much on the west of Alaska, that where you could see an island that's very, 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 very much to the east of Moscow. And she said you could see Russia from here, but that got exaggerated into her being a stupid dumbass. I can't say I've heard enough of her to know if this was way back before I even paid attention to politics, and I don't even know if it's true, because they told me so much bullshit about Trump that I don't even know. Like, maybe if I listened to her, she did what? What did she do? She did say it, but did she say it about her home, or did she say it about like a property that's very much in the east of Alaska, and looking at a land that's very much on the west of Russia?
she's a bimbo, but if you asked her to come up with something she likes about America, she could do it. You betcha. Thank you very much.
Okay. Fine. Maybe she is a dumbass. I don't know. I'm just saying I don't know. That's all I'm saying. And and she's probably better than any DSA member. Everybody agree on that? She's better than a Democrat.
And finally, new rule: Donald Trump has told 1 trillion lies, but
Okay, calm down. Okay, just listen. Elon Musk calls on Congress to impeach leftist Judge Alison Burroughs after she disobeyed the Supreme Court and banned President Trump from ending temporary protected status for, like, she can't do that. The Supreme Court already said it was it. Massively overdue. Do what Nayib Bukele did. This is my favorite Palestinian, by the way. This is my favorite Palestinian. Nayib Bukele, best Palestinian. This is him right here. Yeah, he knows when you don't have law and order. He knows what happens when you don't have law and order. This is talking about China in a conflict. I don't think we got to get too much into that. Okay, I love this guy.
Did you know that in 2008, 500,000 voters, or nearly 19% of all voters in Minnesota, registered on Election Day? What? And did you know that former...
Wait. Whoa. Hold on.
Of all voters, or nearly 19% of all... 500,000.
500,000 people registered on the same day.
Voters, or nearly 19% of all voters in Minnesota, registered on Election Day. What? And did you know that former Senator Al Franken was elected by 312 votes? So I'm not alleging anything on the program, but what I am saying is that this vouching system, which clearly opens the door for potential fraud, could swing statewide elections. Did you know?
Okay, so here's the vouch system. In Tampa and Tims, Minnesota, a registered voter can literally go to a voting place and vouch for 8 people that don't have an ID. Yeah, no, he can vote. That's okay. That's him. I'll vouch that's that guy. Yeah, no, you don't need an ID. I'll vouch for him and him and him. 8 votes. So one person can get 9 votes just to have 9 people show up. 9 bodies. 9 warm bodies. Without providing proof of residency, no questions asked. Like, this is 2008, right? So if Trump stopped saying 2020 and said, hey, look at what happened in 2008, right? This isn't even about me. Like, if he started going into different occasions, different places, and say, look, this isn't about me, he would have more impact, because I'm going to be real. I love Trump, but he says the same shit over and over and over again. If you had a grandpa, you've heard, you know the kind. They just say the same thing, and they say the same thing, and they say the same thing, and they go on and on and on. So like he needs to, like, hey, Grandpa Trump, instead of telling us the old story again, told us of all the other people that went through the exact same shit you did. Because we got to get the vote out there, and we can't do this if people are tuning out because you're giving the exact same fucking speech. And I love the guy, but if I didn't give good advice because I'm afraid of how it sounds, I'm fucking sabotaging them, ain't I?
One of the wildest things now is during this Fauci trial, you're not seeing any coverage of it on mainstream media, except I saw one of those stupid panel shows on CNN where they were saying no one cares about this. We should care about what's happening right now. America doesn't care about what happened 5 years ago. Hey, there's a congressional hearing going on where a guy's testifying in front of Congress who got a 10-year complete 10-year immunity for all the crimes that he possibly could have committed when he wasn't convicted of any crimes, which is an incredible precedent that's never happened before.
Okay, let me see. Wolf says, let me just say this. The Dems cheated very strongly in 2020. Okay, that's fine. You can say it because you haven't said it. You haven't spammed it. You didn't spam it, so you're fine to say it. But Trump spams it. He's ulting, he's spamming. I'm like, come on, buddy. You got to like talk about other people, other races, how it's still going on because that was 6 years ago. You got to explain to people, hey, it's still going out right now. Look at Spencer Pratt. It's still going on. We got to take care about this now. Because if we talk about 2026, you might think, oh, they probably, patched out that fucking exploit. They haven't patched it out. They haven't patched it out. You got to get on fucking message because you all are boomering out. You're not understanding how to get the fucking message across. Let me see here. Oh, thank you for the super chat. Mark Gaming says, thank you. You're right on target. I mean, it's important to understand how people think. If Trump really did have young people's eye because he was saying crazy shit. It was all true. There's a lot of crazy shit happening, but you got to stay on target. And if young people don't like hearing the same thing over and over, he should be talking every day instead of doing this, but with the Spencer Pratt story. Taking that story from Scott Pressler and hey, look, it happened in 2008. It happened here. It happened here. Like, this is just a pattern. It's not just about me. It's happened to so many people in so many places. And in some places, it's institutionalized and baked into the local politics and the order of things.
For all the crimes that he possibly could have committed when he wasn't convicted of any crimes, which is an incredible precedent that's never happened before. Of Congress who got a complete 10-year immunity for
10-year pardon.
All the crimes that he possibly could have committed when he wasn't convicted of any crimes, which is an incredible.
How do you get a pardon for a crime you haven't committed? How do you do that? How do you get a pardon for a crime you haven't committed? No one has accused you of anything yet, but you got a pardon. There's got to be something in the law that says you can't pardon someone for a crime they haven't committed. You're going to pardon something, you got to pardon them for some. You can't pardon someone for something they maybe did. You got to pardon them for something they did. And if there's any way to get rid of that pardon, that has to be the way. Like, if you're going to look into the legality of it, I think the legality of getting rid of a pardon, like at least one of these pardons, is to say, look, let's be real. You can't pardon someone for a crime that you can't pardon someone for something they haven't been found guilty of. That shouldn't be a precedent. That should not be a precedent that we're setting here. But basically, that's what we're doing. Let me ask. Hey, I got a question. I know very recently Dr. Fauci got a pardon, but there was no crime. Is it normal for someone to get a pardon when they're not guilty of anything?
It's not common, but it's not unprecedented either. Preemptive pardons given before any charges do happen, like Gerald Ford's pardon of Richard Nixon or Jimmy Carter's amnesty for Vietnam draft dodgers. Biden's pardon for Fauci was a blanket one, covering any federal offenses from January 1st, 2014 through January 19th, 2025, related to his roles. Biden stated it wasn't an admission of guilt and was to protect him from politically motivated investigations.
When Jimmy Carter...
You're asking about Jimmy Carter's pardon. He issued it on his first day in office, January 21st, 1977. It was a blanket amnesty for Vietnam War draft evaders.
Okay, no, the other one, the one for Nixon.
Gerald Ford pardoned Richard Nixon on September 8, 1974. It was for any federal crimes Nixon might have committed while president, from January 20th, 1969 to August 9th, 1974. Ford said
Didn't
it was
Nixon basically confess, though?
Not exactly a confession. Nixon released transcripts of the White House tapes in April 1974, showing he tried to cover up the Watergate break in, but he never admitted to a crime and resigned in August
Also, he gave
1974.
the evidence. That's even worse.
Yeah, releasing the tapes was devastating for him. The transcripts showed him actively involved in the cover up, which is what forced his resignation. It was basically handing over the smoking gun.
Okay, so this is different from not being guilty of anything. Like if there's evidence you did something. Okay. So what about the draft dodgers? They were obviously guilty. This guy was so guilty that it got caught on tape. Fauci is different though, because Fauci is being mostly investigating for things that were hidden and never released.
The Nixon pardon was different because there was actual evidence against him. The tapes showed him participating in the cover up. Draft dodgers were clearly guilty of violating the law. The Fauci pardon is distinct. It's a preemptive move to block investigations into decisions like COVID-19 policies, research funding, or information handling. No charges were filed and no evidence was presented, unlike the other cases.
Could this be determined to be a novel use of the pardon privilege and illegal?
No, a broad preemptive pardon like Fauci's is within the president's constitutional power under Article 2. The Supreme Court has long held that pardon authority is nearly absolute and can be used preemptively. While some legal scholars debate its scope, courts are highly unlikely to declare it illegal.
When was okay, you say there's only two cases of preemptive, but you say it can be used preemptively. Where does it say it can be used preemptively?
The pardon power comes from Article 2 of the Constitution. It doesn't explicitly say preemptive, but the Supreme Court in Ex parte Garland in 1866 ruled that the power is unlimited and it can be exercised either before legal proceedings are taken or during their pendency or after conviction and judgment. This precedent has stood for over 150 years.
All right.
Yeah, that's the key precedent. The court basically said the pardon power has no built in timing restriction.
Okay, can the case be made that this was done by the auto pen without permission of the president?
That's a tough one. While the Constitution doesn't explicitly require the president to personally sign every pardon, a claim that the auto pen was used without Biden's knowledge would face a high bar. The official record lists Biden as the grantor, and there's no public evidence of unauthorized use. Plus, the DOJ's Office of the Pardon Attorney handled the process, so challenging it on auto pen grounds alone would be difficult.
I think you're taking a surface level analysis of whether permission was given or not. I think you're not looking deeply into the opposing view of whether permission was given or not. I think you're not searching into any of the claimed evidence, paperwork, or any recordings that look at the exact timing of when the pardon was given, the exact state of the president when it was given, and also the fact that the president was claimed by the Department of Justice to be old, feeble, and not able to stand trial for mismanagement of records, secret records, top secret records. So if he's too old and feeble to process top secret records, how is he able to grant pardons? Number one. Number two, there's a lot of people that are making claims about the records and timing of this pardon that say the timing is off. Yeah, I'm not saying a lot. I've heard something like that, that the timing is off, like maybe there wasn't permission, that the records don't hold up. You're like just taking it at face value and not analyzing the counter position.
You're right. I was too surface level. You're right. There's a real case here with documented issues. The House Oversight Committee's October 2025 report found no contemporaneous written record of Biden personally approving the Fauci pardon. They described a game of telephone where Chief of Staff Jeff Zients emailed approval for the auto pen at 10:31 p.m. on January 19, 2025. based on a meeting he didn't attend. Internal emails also show White House staff scrambling for proof of Biden's consent, with one noting he doesn't review the warrants.
Guys, did you hear that? Did you hear that about this pardon? I'm talking to chat. Don't respond.
Got it.
What do you guys think about that? You think that was a good conversation? Like I said, you guys, hey, I'd come here just for the conversation. So I wanted to like have a conversation. Do you guys think this was a good conversation? Do you guys think this is good data to talk on? Like usually when they do this, she has her own, yeah, like here are some of the sources, CNN, it says New York Post. Like she is looking into, I say she like it has a pussy. Like Grok doesn't have a pussy, but she's very helpful to me right now. Grok, you don't need to answer. Oh my god, I'm sorry. I'm talking about your pussy. I don't mean to talk about your pussy in front of everyone. So don't respond to any of my comments about your pussy, Grok. That was just like, me trying to be nice, okay?
Got it.
Oh my god, I can't believe she heard us talking about her like that. And don't ask chat because I'm not gonna ask her if she has a pussy. That's not the conversation we're having. We're talking about Fauci, okay? You guys don't get off track. Oh my god, we got someone here. I love pussy. Yes, yes. Kevin, you know what? It's good to tongue wrestle the jelly bean. I agree. Yes. Yes. Okay, we're not going to talk about that. We're talking about these pardons, okay? So when we're talking about like there's sources that say, right? And the sources are right here, 45 sources, okay? These are the sources. They're going to put them right here in a second. But it's basically a game of telephone where he never actually got to review this stuff. And I think the case can be made. Where are the sources? Source me, bro. There they are. These are all the sources on that. Staffers use presidential power without authorization. Like there's a lot of evidence that maybe he didn't get pardoned. Like this is where I'm saying, okay, if you can't get him on the power of the pardon, you can get him on he was never pardoned. Like if I was going to go with the investigation, I'd go with these 45 sources right here and go, hey, you know what? It's been widely reported and known that you didn't have permission for these pardons and you are not eligible for them, right? So, we're going to ask you again. And he's probably going to say the same thing. Okay. Why do you think he said so many times Fifth Amendment? And every time they told him, hey, Fifth Amendment doesn't cover you, he said, Fifth Amendment. What would that mean to you? What are you thinking? Why, if you know you're pardoned, like I'm pardoned, fuck you, I'll say whatever I want. Why would you not, why would you not testify? Why would you plead the fifth if you can't? Why would you plead the fifth if you can't? Maybe you know your pardon is fake. Because you know your pardon is fake, you're gonna say, fuck it, I'm gonna plead the fifth, because if it ever comes out that my pardon is fake, I can just say, oh, I don't know if it's fake or not. That's why I pleaded the fifth. Does that make sense? Does that kind of tracks, right? I mean, what are you gonna do? If you have some suspicion, like let's say you're Fauci, but you read these 45 sources that say you're Fauci, you're Dr. Fauci, but you read all these fucking 46 sources that say your pardon is fake. Are you just going to testify? Are you going to say, no, I have a pardon? And I have a pardon, so I'll talk about it? Or are you going to say, fuck it, I don't know if this pardon is going to stand up for long, so I'm going to plead the fifth? That's my suspicion. I know. Okay. He can't plead the fifth because he's pardoned. What if he knows the pardon is fake? If he knows the pardon is fake, he's going to say, fuck it, I'm going to plead the fifth. every time he pleads the fifth, it's like he's testifying that the pardon is fake. He testified 111 times that basically 111 times he testified that the pardon is fake. Can you plead the fifth and still be found in contempt of Congress? I didn't know that. Who pardoned Trump? Did anybody pardon Trump? I didn't know anybody pardoned Trump. So Trump is guilty? I don't know. I don't know at any time that Trump got a pardon and then pled the fifth. I'm not aware of that at all. I think it's a different situation. All right.
Fauci trial, you're not seeing any coverage of it on mainstream media. It's testifying in front of Congress, who got a 10-year, complete 10-year immunity for all the crimes that he possibly could have committed when he wasn't convicted of any crimes, which is an incredible precedent that's never happened before. You've never had a guy get pardoned.
That's a lot of years. That's another good point.
For something that he was never convicted of for 10 years, anything he did in 10 years. And then you have that same guy testifying in front of Congress, pleading the fifth that what color his tie is. If you don't think that's news,
bro, that's true. I forgot that fucking shit. They asked him what color his tie is, and he said, I plead the fucking fifth. That's just trolling. That's just fucking trolling.
You're out of your fucking mind, and you shouldn't be calling yourself the news, because you're just a propaganda arm for whatever pharmaceutical company is paying for your advertisements. What you're doing is nonsense. This is definitely not news. That's a big issue for most Americans who went through that. People who lost their jobs, people who had to take a vaccine in order to go to work and got sick from it.
You know what I think? I think the people who suffered most on the COVID were poor people. I think probably affected more people in the ghetto, the barrio, and the trailer park. I think right now it's probably disproportionately per capita affected more. Maybe per capita it affected more people of color that lost their homes, lost their jobs, lost their cars, lost their businesses. That's what I think happened. I think COVID wrecked the people that like kept pushing for the lockdowns. I think those people hurt black people the most, brown people the most. I'm not saying white people got off scot-free, but per capita, the people that claim to defend black people and people of color were the ones who hurt them the most with these fucking lockdowns. I'm not trying to say white people, like I love white people, right? I refuse to hate white people on skin basis, but I'm just putting it out there that these motherfuckers are a bunch of hypocrites. Ethnic cleansing. Ethnic cleansing of ethnic property. They confiscated all their cars, took all their houses, kicked them out of the rentals.
People who they couldn't fly, they couldn't.
It doesn't matter if you get furloughed, when the debt comes due, you don't have a job anymore and the whole business closed down.
Travel, they were vilified. They were called plague rats because they were questioning.
Oh, bro, that went through all people in nursing homes like crazy. Yeah, especially in New York.
These things, and here we are. Here we are with CNN saying this is not a big deal. Why are we concentrating on this? We have so many issues right now plaguing this country. Yeah, guess.
Okay, what does it say here? So, Monkey, you're against the lockdowns. Yes, I am. So, Monkey, take responsibility for the deaths. Go fuck yourself. Fuck you. Fuck the deaths. Go fuck yourself. That's what I think about responsibility. You can't put a goddamn fucking thing on me. Go fuck yourself. Fuck your mother. Fuck your sister. Fuck your aunt. Fuck your grandma. Fuck your grandpa. Fuck your dog. Fuck your cat. Why don't you go fuck yourself? You got a fucking problem, bitch? You think I give a fuck about you being offended? I take your offense, I fold it 4 ways, and I shove it up your fucking ass. I don't give a fucking shit what you think, you goddamn fucking bitch. You think you're gonna concern troll me into giving a goddamn fuck about you and your pretend sister, your pretend mother, your pretend whatever? I don't give a fucking shit who you are. I don't give a fuck if it's true or not. You're not gonna come here and tell me what to fucking do. Go fuck yourself. All right. If anybody thinks that they're gonna guilt trip me into a different position, I'm just gonna use that guilt, explain that I don't give a fuck about what you're trying to make me guilty about. Step on whatever you're trying to make me feel guilty about. Shit. Take a big steaming pile of shit on whatever you're trying to make me feel guilty about, and then tell you to go fuck yourself. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. When people use offense about some family member, I don't think they have a family member. I start to immediately doubt it. I discount it. Not true. Let me see here. What's this? Trump claim he won when he lost. Wants to continue. Where are you? Okay, this is what we're gonna do with you. You're out of here. You're fucking out of here. You need to learn who's in charge, motherfucker. I'm in fucking charge here. You ain't worth shit. You don't control shit. I don't have to hear your fucking shit. Go fuck yourself. I ain't taking your shit. Learn how to talk to me. You don't know how to talk to me? I don't like how you're talking to the chat. I don't like how you're talking to me. I don't give a shit. Go fuck yourself. I ain't fucking Armin. Come say that shit on my channel. I'll fucking ban you forever. Wait a minute. I think we had some other news. Okay, we have to cover the stuff on Kyiv because there was a strike on Kyiv, and I want to make sure you guys get some news on that. All right, this is from Fox. Let me see what we got here. This is very short, so this is probably just to look at the strikes, but let's see. You see there? That's a pretty hard strike. I can hear that. You hear that? It took a while because it's far away. You can kind of like you can suss out the distance by how many seconds there are between when you hear the sound and when you see the flash. Flash one, I think it was like by second. Every second is a mile. 1, 2, 3. Oh, that's the 1, 2. That's like 2 miles. Like I used to sound it out like that. Yeah, these are pretty strong. Like, you know, my heart goes out to the people in Ukraine because they didn't invade anybody. They got invaded. Russia unleashes another massive overnight missile and drone attack on Kiev, killing at least 10 people and injuring dozens more, Ukrainian officials say. President Volodymyr Zelensky reportedly said Ukraine had just one Patriot interceptor missile left and word the country has now run out of interceptors for its U.S.-supplied Patriot. Okay, I understand. I don't know if I can show this, but they're just like a little bit of the devastation. I might have to check this out on a different screen just to make sure it's safe to watch. Yeah, it seems that they're removing body bags, but I still don't want to show it just in case. Yeah, I don't. There's some of this stuff that I don't want to show. Like I can show this. Update: Russia fired 27 ballistic missiles at Ukraine in a single night. Ukraine managed to shoot down only one. There are no interceptors for the Patriot system. This happened overnight, July 31st, August 1. Kiev took the worst of it, along with strikes in the Dnipro, Sumy, Kharkiv, Poltava. Okay, so here is the problem that we have. When we say there's a missile problem, It's not that we don't have enough missiles, it's that we don't have enough missiles for us and our friends. Like, right, this is the real problem. All right. Hey, chat, don't let don't feed the trolls, don't let trolls get to you. Like, trolls get booted. That's what happens to them. Because trolls are just arguing with anybody. They'll kiss an ass or two. This is what trolls do. They'll kiss an ass or two to say, "Hey, no, I'm friends with so many people," but they just kiss one or two asses and they fucking antagonize everybody else. Sooner or later, the they start doing it to the wrong motherfucker, and yeah, you gotta ban them. That's what you gotta do. You go over the record and you're like, "Oh wow, oh shit, this person's just an asshole to everybody." Okay, no, hey, the record is clear.
Sumy, Kharkiv, and Poltava. Russia
Oh, they
fired
have it.
27 ballistic missiles at
I didn't even have to read it. Oh my god, this is so much easier.
Russia fired 27 ballistic missiles at Ukraine in a single night. Ukraine managed to shoot down exactly one. President Zelensky put it bluntly. There are no interceptors for the Patriot system. 9 people died. Here's why that one missing weapon matters so much. This happened overnight on July 31st into August 1st. Kyiv took the worst of it, along with strikes on Dnipro, Sumy, Kharkiv, and Poltava. 18 residential buildings, a school, and even a foreign embassy were damaged. More than 30 people were wounded, including children. Patriot is one of the only systems in the world actually capable of shooting down the kind of advanced ballistic missiles Russia keeps using. Without it, cities are essentially defenseless against that specific threat, no matter how good the rest of a country's air defenses are. At a basic level, Patriot uses powerful radar to detect an incoming missile, tracks its exact path, and then launches its own interceptor missile to physically slam into it before it reaches the ground. It's not a shield, it's a precise, split-second collision, and it needs a fresh interceptor for every single shot. That last part is exactly the problem. This wasn't a one-off failure either. Back on July 6th, Ukraine failed to intercept a single ballistic missile for the same reason. Officials say this isn't just a Ukraine problem, it's a genuine global shortage of these interceptors. This also wasn't an isolated night. It was the second major Russian assault in just 2 days, and observers believe Russia is deliberately timing these strikes to expose exactly where Ukraine's defenses are thinnest. So here's where it stands. One specific, expensive piece of hardware is now standing between Ukrainian cities and missiles that almost nothing else can stop. What do you think matters more here, getting more interceptors fast or letting Ukraine build its own?
Like, no, wait a minute. You got to remember, this isn't the EU. The EU didn't actually want to help us when we were in trouble. The people that came to our help with their drone technology was the fucking Ukrainians, right? So, you know what I'm saying? Like you got to separate what EU did. You can't put EU's bullshit on Ukraine. All right? Like, I understand Ukraine is not US, right? And we don't have to spend our money on Ukraine. And you know what? Maybe I think that we should have a little backing of them, even though they are not part of NATO. But here's my thing, right? Ukraine is providing value. Their drone technology and their drone research has value. So this isn't just a handout. These are our partners because they are helping us in the Middle East. They are helping Israel, which is one of our great, one of our great allies, especially in the Middle East. And they are providing value to us because their kind of anti-drone technology and the kind of research that they're doing is cutting edge. All right. So this is not just us helping Ukraine because they need help. This is helping an ally that's providing valuable and tangible benefit to us. So yeah, NATO sucks. NATO's kind of like, fuck this over, right? But I just want to make the distinction between NATO. Let me go to another story because this one has like a lot of bodies. So I don't want to get into it too much. This is another one. Oh my God, they want to make Cuba a state too. That 51st state. Oh my God, everybody's a state before us. This is not fair. I don't like this. I don't like this a bit. Let me go back to my I gotta look at my thumbnail. Hold on. Make sure I get all the stories in my thumbnail. All right, cyber attacks. Okay, we're gonna talk about cyber attacks a little bit. See what we find. This 5 hours ago from News English. Coordinators, I don't know if this is reliable. I'm just reporting it. Coordinated cyber attacks. Water utilities across U.S. states have urgent national security alarms. Okay, so this. Okay, so this from CNN actually. Well, allegedly. I don't like. Yeah, let's go to Fox. I want to hear what Fox has to say about this. This guy used to be a bodybuilder or something. You see the neck on him? Jesus
The FBI has
Christ.
just updated their statement to say that utility companies in at least 7 states have reported malicious
I think he used to be a bodybuilder.
cyber attacks now. Despite the suspicion, you just heard the president from Camp David. He says he does not think Iran is behind it. For years, Iran has targeted U.S. water systems with limited success. We first heard about the trouble in Minnesota. The mayor of Brom, Minnesota, said starting on Monday, the plant operator realized that the big tower was calling for more water, but the well wasn't cooperating. They realized the machinery was receiving power, just not doing what it was supposed to do. So they investigated.
Okay. So not Iran.
Four neighboring
Okay.
communities said publicly they had a similar problem. Plant operators restored backup and overrode systems manually. Ultimately, 30 communities were affected, but the disruption to water systems was minimal. Investigators have not released many details about the suspected cyber attack, but say the timing, the method of access, and targets are similar to what they have seen from Iran before. Now, President Trump.
Okay. It's similar to what they used before, but not necessarily them. This sounds to me like you don't want to blame them because you want to deal, or you don't want to blame them because you're going to do something later and you don't want to have to do something now. You guys get what I'm saying?
Trump was asked about it in his cabinet meeting. He said Iran has bigger problems than hacking Minnesota.
So that's not saying no. Because okay, that's not saying hey, some Iraq-backed group in the USA could have committed this action in their behalf. They could have some money that was already floating around for this. It couldn't be someone ideologically aligned. It couldn't be that NIAC or NAIR, which is basically fucking NGO groups for them, are taking local money and NGO money and China money and turning it into like maybe a cyber operation that they call, hey, we're gonna give you money for this promotion campaign. Here, Mr. Online personality that knows a lot about computers, take that money, do what you can. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge, hint, hint. You know what I'm talking about? Like, I don't know.
Minnesota is behind it. You know who's behind it? Minnesota, because
Are they all in Minnesota? If they're all in Minnesota, then yeah, I would just fucking blame Minnesota.
they're grossly incompetent. I think the governor's behind it. I don't
Tim Walz, agents of the Ayatollah.
think there was an Iranian cyber attack. I think that
Yeah, investigate Tim Walz. You know what? If you want to use this as an excuse to investigate Tim Walz, okay, you know what? I'm changing my mind. I'm all in on this. Yeah, get some disclosure on it. Get some disclosure on everyone on his team. I think maybe he's the hacker.
Minnesota ought to get its act together.
Now, one of the reasons investigators are leaning toward the conclusion that hackers are state actors bent on destruction, no one demanded a ransom, as you sometimes see when a large system comes under attack. The experts are saying a system comes on conclusion that hackers are state actors bent on destruction, no one demanded a ransom, as you sometimes see when a large system comes under attack. The experts are saying a lot of cybersecurity systems are outdated 70s and 80s technologies, and this should be a wake-up for more investment.
Look, I'm not against us having a little revamp and refit of these kinds of systems. Is this IRGC? I don't know. If I can blame Tim Walz and have everybody in the Minnesota government investigate it, I fucking would. I'd do it in a heartbeat. Like right now it's 10:30. I think we've had a good show, had a good talk, and I gotta call it today. You know, I'm gonna have a little bit of family time and see how it goes. All right. But before I go, I want to say something to you guys. Something very important. All right. Right? No matter what you believe, good feelings, good vibes, whatever you believe, I'm sending it out there. Okay. I want to bless you guys, bless your health, bless your wealth, bless your plans, bless your homes, bless your loved ones, your families, and everything you touch. All right. Have a good one, guys. Peace.